Welcome back, gang. Todd here. As promised, here's part 2 to my moving vlog. Took me a while to get around to it because I've been testing a few things and working on a few things. But let's go ahead and go into the revised nerd cave here. Pardon the blue tint for a few moments while the camera white balances itself. Let me just give you a quick overview of the room here. Starting on the left-hand side is the computer desk. You'll probably notice this one is a lot different than my old one. This is actually a component desk from IKEA. It consists of the white Linmon tabletops up here, and then there's one over here, and it's sitting on top of a pair of the gray Alex drawers. So these are pretty nice for putting stuff in there. You can sort things out and organize things. Up on the desk, quite a bit of stuff's changed as far as computer setup goes. You'll notice the monitors, the speakers I'm using for monitoring audio. I now use KRK Rocket 5s. I was using for a little while some Samson RXA 6s, and prior to that I was using a pair of JBL LSR 5s or 305s for quite a while. But I've changed to the Rockets and I'm enjoying them immensely. I'm still getting used to the sound. They have quite a bit different sound signatures than what I'm used to, but they still sound pretty great. And also on the desk, for my audio interface, I changed to a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. I was using an Alesis mixer, one of their USB multi-mix 8s. However, I wanted something that sounded a little nicer, plus something a little more compact on the desktop. Same Asus monitor. Keyboard's changed. As you can see, it's a Corsair, it's an RGB backlit keyboard. I'm not going to dive too much into the computer stuff, because some stuff's changed there too. We'll deal with that at a later time. One thing that's changed on my desktop that I'm getting kind of getting used to is actually using a mouse mat. This is significant because on this Linmon desk, the surface is kind of a weird, kind of high friction surface. It's not a really super smooth. When you run your fingers across it, the surface feels smooth, but it has a lot of drag. Let me show you. Here's the mouse mat. A little bit of effort. You can see the mouse slides with quite a bit of ease. Using the same amount of effort on the desktop, the mouse literally slides 2 inches. This is a SteelSeries HD4, I think is what it is. It's got a really interesting texture to it on the surface. It's got kind of feels almost like ultra fine grit sandpaper. It's a thick matte, so it's like it's like a hard matte surface. It's not one of those cloth ones. I tried a cloth one, I didn't much care for it. You pretty much have to use some sort of mousing matte surface on this desk though, which is I'm not used to. I've been using optical mice on just desktops for years, so this one I pretty much had to use a mouse mat with. Over to the right here is a new addition, which I'm actually thinking about doing a review. Kind of odd for me, but I'm thinking about doing a review anyways. Is this lamp. It's an LED anchored light. And the cool thing about this is it has multiple different colors. So depending on time of day or night or what you're doing, what color light you want, you can also change the brightness. And it has a USB power port on the side for charging a tablet or phone or whatever. So that's pretty cool. And it has a swivel top. The whole thing swivels back and forth. And it has a swivel top. It has a nicely diffused LED light up here. It's pretty cool. Over to the right is a PVM with some junk sitting on top. Let me clear that off. Here's my Amiga 1200 hooked back up. It's here in the daylight when I'm on top of this white desk. I didn't really notice how yellow the case has become on my 1200. It wasn't until I got the white desk that I noticed just how damn yellow the case has become over the years. So I'm gonna need to get a replacement case and keycaps for this, kind of bring it back up to spec. Because here's one of the power supplies. You can kind of compare the two. If you look at them side by side, you can see a pretty stark difference between the power supply and the Amiga 1200 case. That's what it kind of should look like. That's what it is now, so I want to adjust that. Also sitting on my desk is, let me sit down here, is the old video card for my computer. This is an MSI GTX 970. Still a pretty capable card, but definitely not a high-end video card by today's standards. I've actually replaced it with a GTX, can't find the box, a GTX 1080, which is very nice. We'll talk more about the computer upgrades and stuff in a later video, but that's just, it's sitting there on the desk, so I thought I'd talk about it. Also here on the desk, which I need to install, but I just haven't got to, is Corsair H115i water-cooled kit for a CPU. I picked up from Micro Center a couple days ago. I just haven't got around to installing it. I'm hoping to do it the next couple days. Here's another Alex drawer for organizing stuff in. Oh, AD Famicom. I'm a really big fan of these Alex drawers because they give you quite a bit of storage room. I'm not used to having at my desk. You can store knickknacks and pens and pencils, USB drives, cables, accessories, controllers, you know, whatever. So that's really cool. I got a futon here. This is from IKEA. This is the, I believe it's called a bedding. It's Swedish, I don't know. Anyways, it's not a bad futon. It's pretty comfortable to set on, play games on. And also it's pretty comfortable for taking a nap on, so that's not too bad. Over on the right hand side here, I have a little white IKEA cabinet. Down the floor is my Netgear router. The only reason it's sitting on the floor and not up on the rack is because the cable that goes around to the computer is not long enough. I've got a longer cable here somewhere. Oh, there we go. I've got a longer cable there. I just need to, run it around the room. I just haven't done that yet. On the cabinet, I have a couple little British cars, little die-cast metal ones. A soft container full of dog toys. A little wicker basket which pulls out, has some paper and some miscellaneous odds and ends in it. And then I have a multifunction HP printer, a drill, which I probably shouldn't have left up there. Big Mario. And finally, in the closet, I have some miscellaneous junk. Stuff in there. And down at the bottom, and you guys watched my channels for a while, probably that guy looks familiar. That's my Thecus NAS, my N5550, my 20 terabyte NAS. I've had this guy now for 3 years. Yeah, it's been around about 3 years now, because you look at my channel, it's the oldest video on my channel. And that guy has been just a rock. It's been solid. I've had zero problems, even when I've done stupid shit like accidentally unplugging the power to it and powering it off. And it boots back up, does a file system check, and then goes on its merry way. I've had zero problems. So seriously guys, if you're in the market for some sort of NAS, check out Thecus. They make good products for a great price. Well guys, that concludes this quick tour of the room. This is not a full room tour or a setup tour or anything like that. This is simply me walking around the room, pulling the camera out and showing you guys what's going on, what's happening. So anyways guys, hope you liked this video. If you liked it, thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment below. As always, I'll see you guys in the next video.